What is your American dream?
My American dream is all Americans respect each other and come together as one country rather than being so divisive.
My American dream is whoever wants to immigrate to United States to get their documents and to get whatever they want.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Welcome, everybody. It is Hump Day. Woo, woo, woo. Hump Day.
You're excited for Hump Day.
I am excited for Hump Day. Did you ever think I would start the show like that?
No.
I actually had to give thought for a second. I'm like, should I actually do this? I'm like, why not?
And I saw you thinking.
I thought about it. And then I said...
And you thought yes.
Yes. And then what happened was that my crazy part of my mind took over from my logical part of my mind.
Oh, okay.
Yes, the logical
It
part.
happens.
The logical part of my mind would have said, "Brad, you're a lawyer. You don't go whoop whoop whoop."
Oh.
Right, and then the crazy part says, screw it."
Yeah. I think we usually think with our crazy part for
Right.
Bradshaw Live.
Well, let me ask you a question. As you go through the day, do you think, because everybody is a little crazy,
Yes.
and everybody's a little logical. It's just depending on how crazy and how logical you are.
Yes.
Right? Logical meaning more reasonable, I guess. Are you as you go through the day, do you think I'm like crazy all day, or are you more logical all day? Or it depends on the mood.
It depends on the mood.
Depends on the mood and the vibe,
and
right?
the vibe, yeah, and especially what you're doing for the day. If I really have to be logical, like I'll sit myself. I'm not gonna have fun.
Right.
I'd rather be crazy. It's not fun to
not
be logical.
Well, what's your vibe right now? Crazy or logical?
Logical.
Logical. Right now, your vibe is logical.
I am here at work and ready to get it in.
Not
yes.
crazy.
Not crazy right now.
Not yet.
Not yet.
What do I need to do? Should we just go right into Hump Day?
No.
Let's
ease into that. Let's ease into the camel ride.
All right, let's say hello to the squad.
Yeah, let's do
Tamara
it.
Walker, squad up. Carol, the Tiger, Christy Gonzalez, how are you? Jessica Kalibi, squad up. I usually do the pre-immigration question of the day on YouTube. Let's do it on Facebook today.
Let's do it. For Michael?
Michael McKenzie.
Cool.
Saying, "Hi, Uncle Brad. How can I get a passport for my daughter if she's living in the USA and not in Jamaica anymore?" Well, if your daughter is a U.S. citizen, just download the U.S. passport application and mail it in. I'm not exactly sure. You're talking about maybe a Jamaican passport. I assume that would be the question. If it's the Jamaican passport, you got to go to the Jamaican consulate. So if you're in New York, the Jamaican consulate's on 3rd Avenue in the 40s. You can Google the exact address. There's other Jamaican consulates around the United States, but you got to contact the Jamaican consulate for that then. All right, Christy Gonzalez, squad up. How are you? Nina God Pickney, Lisa Blingrose, Denver South, squad up. Dip Fab Cake Affairs, how are you? Lisa Blingrose. Haven't seen her in a few days, right? Has she been with us this week?
I feel like she has.
She has been? Okay.
Yeah.
Ila Wawi Tola Walasi.
You do that really well.
Is that close?
It sounds pretty close.
Wawi Tola Lawasi. Is there a problem? He continues, though. There's lots of problems. If I and my fiance using the same address while filling out our application of change of status, why would that be a problem? Unless you're claiming marriage to other people and living with living with your fiance. But other than that, I don't see that as a problem. Mavo Tom, squad up. Laverne Brown, we see you watching. Sophia Gray. And Marge Higgs.
Yeah.
All right. Grandma.
Grandma. Yep.
Happy hump day to those who were humped into 2022. Better luck for 2023. For those not so lucky, I'm humping in the borderline.
Oh.
Wow, she's getting very randy.
Yeah, Grandma.
She wants. She's ready for the camels to come right out.
That's just getting really handy.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. Did you get humped into 2022?
No, I didn't.
You did not get humped into 2022.
Nope, I didn't.
I did not either. I was with my kids.
Yeah, I was with my family.
I did not get humped into 2022. But for those who did,
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov and happy hump day. Harris, Mitchie B, squad up. How are you? Lisa Bling Rose, squad up. And Jessica Kalimi, I called out your name twice, I believe, already.
Yeah.
And she's like, and your name, not call yet. Jessica Kalimi, squad up.
Say it 3 times.
3 times is a charm. Deion Watson, squad up. Westman, how are you? Lee, saying squad up. Lee likes names and writing with multiple continuous vowels.
Yeah.
Lee, squad up. Adama Zampalagri, squad up. How are you? Lee with an immigration question too.
Okay.
I guess I should do a couple of pre.
You did 2 already.
I'll do 3.
Okay.
Lee, only because I like his name or her name. We don't know. If a man files for asylum for himself, his wife, and 2 kids. Can he also file DACA for the 2 kids? They're 8 and 3. Also, if he gets an ITIN number, can he claim the kids on the taxes? You can file for DACA, but the kids aren't eligible for DACA until they're 16. And there's no way that they would be eligible for DACA because they had to be physically present in the United States on 2007. And that would be a great trick for an 8-year-old and a 3-year-old. But the answer is yes, in theory, but no, not for your family. Who else we got here? Blessing Nini saying squad up. Muron Abadio saying hi Brad, how are you? Tamar Reed. Taiwo saying hi Brad. 29 Super C. Just calling out everybody.
Right.
29 Super C calling out everybody. And last pre-immigration question. Can I just see them?
Okay.
From Taiwo. If I have a question. Is it possible for a farm to change the status of its undocumented farm workers? Well, if its farm workers are undocumented, it's unlikely that the farm can sponsor those undocumented workers. That's why we were hoping for the farm worker amnesty. That was part of Plan A. We still have no idea what's going to happen with all of that. So we'll see what happens. All right, Yo-Yo, take it away.
Absolutely. All right, squad, you already know what time it is. It's time for you guys to share. That means share on all social media platforms because we're about to start schmoozing with Brad, talking headlines, including the news that the U.S. Chamber of Commerce...
Excuse me, public service announcement. I apologize, Yo-Yo. Dion Reed is asking Yo-Yo.
Asking me.
Asking Yo-Yo to ask Brad, Wagwan. My name not called 2 consecutive nights.
Ooh, 2?
In capitals.
2?
In caps. She's coming right at us.
Yeah.
Dion Reed, my apologies if I didn't see your name. You know you are loved.
Big time.
Big time. If I had any coordination, I would make the heart, but I don't.
You can't do that?
No, I can't because my fingers don't work right.
I'll do it for you.
Thank you very much. That's from both of us. Thank you very much.
There you go.
All right, continue.
All right, like I said, we're about to be schmoozing with Brad, talking headlines, including...
public service announcement
Brad.
Again. I'm sorry. Dawn Harriet says, me name not call either.
That's why I said let me call him, because I had all the names.
Me name not call either. You give Dawn Harriet a heart, too.
Dawn Harriet, this is for
very
you.
Much. One more public service announcement. It's apple pie. I called your name out 5 times. Don't ask. All right, go ahead.
All right, so we'll be talking news, including that the U.S. Chamber of Commerce is... Not yet? Oh, okay. Chamber of Commerce.
Public service announcement. I'm sorry. Naked Wire says she's been asking questions for a very long time and no answers. I don't know what question you've been asking.
Naked Wire, put in your question right now.
Put in your question right now. We'll get it. We'll get it in social media check-in. We promise.
Yes.
Go ahead.
All right. So the news that we'll be talking about is about U.S. Chamber of Commerce calling for doubling the number of legal immigrants into America as a way to ease inflation and the worker shortage.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. And of course, it is Wednesday, so you already know what that means. Hump Day. So we're going to be talking some Hump Day headlines, including a Tinder date that played out like a modern day rom-com in time of Omicron. Rom-com in the time of Omicron. Rom-com in the time of Omicron.
Seashells by the seashore.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers.
And later in the show, we will be playing a game of green inventions around the world with Yonathan, finding out how people are trying to minimize the effects of global warming. Of course, you can call us internationally at +1 212-227-8933. You can also call us from within North America at 1-800-529-5465. You will notice during our show, there is a very flattering silhouette of me.
Yes.
Probably taken from years ago. They molded that silhouette years ago, before I started devouring all the pizzas.
Do you eat pizza?
I love pizza.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's one of my favorites.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
So a very flattering silhouette of me carrying a sign, ask your immigration question, 1-800-529-5465. Waiting for Yo-Yo to interrupt me because
I'm not going to.
Yeah, because Yo-Yo.
I actually was.
Yo-Yo's gonna be like, man, it's karma. I'm sorry.
Right. I actually was because Carol Anderson, the Tiger, said, Brad, everyone is after you tonight, and Jessica Kalimi said, y'all really going in tonight. What's up with that?
I don't know.
Y'all got it in for Brad.
Everybody's a little randy for Hump Day. I hope our stories are good today.
We're going to have to wait and see.
All right, you ready to do some schmoozing?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. So yesterday we talked a little bit about Joe Manchin. We're not going to mention him much other than he doesn't want to build back better plan, which potentially would have our immigration reform in it because he feels it's going to be inflationary. And how ironic it is today that the United States Chamber of Commerce, the CEO of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, said that actually doubling immigration would be the quickest way to reduce inflation. Quite ironic. Senator Manchin, right? Here he is concerned about inflation.
Is he?
No, but that's what he's using the excuse. And we talked yesterday that it's really not an inflationary situation that multi-trillion-dollar bill is going to do because they're just taking money from one person and giving it to another person. Mm-hmm. They're not printing money. And Senator Manchin's walking around saying, I'm concerned about inflation, which, by the way, he should be. Because inflation, they just came out today, 7% and going up. Okay? Consumer prices went up 7% in the last 3 months.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That is a lot. So on average, if something cost $1, now it costs $1.07.
Right.
In 3 months.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Over the course of a year, that's $28. Mm-hmm. I don't know, maybe even more than that because it actually compounds. So the point being is this. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce is calling for the doubling of number of legal immigrants. It will be the quickest way, according to the economists from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, to reduce inflation. The Chamber of Commerce CEO Suzanne Clark told reporters during a press conference yesterday, we need more workers. We should welcome people who want to come here, go to school here, stay here. This is a place the government could be particularly helpful, and we do believe it is anti-inflationary. The reason they believe it's anti-inflationary is the main reason why we're having inflation right now is because of supply chain problems. We don't have truckers. People are not being able to go to work. planes are not taking off, boats are not going, things are getting stuck at ports, not getting to the stores. So there's shortages of many, many items, which causes prices to rise because people are bidding against less items.
Right.
So what would an increase in immigrants do? Give us more workers to ease this whole supply chain. Who do you think the truckers are? Mostly immigrants.
Yeah. It's so funny because I know a couple of immigrants that just came into the States that want to be truckers.
That's
too.
right.
That's wild.
They're mostly immigrants.
So Joe's probably back there trying to think of something else to...
Who knows what Joe is thinking? I don't know what Joe is thinking. Do you?
No.
No. I'll tell you what, though. Joe's administration, President Biden's administration, filed a petition for a writ before the United States Supreme Court. A writ is a request to have a case heard before the Supreme Court. This particular case is about the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals and how they are keeping the migrant protection protocols in place. Now, if you remember, the migrant protection protocols was actually put in by executive order by Donald Trump to make people who are applying for amnesty stay in Mexico for months and months and months in squalor before their amnesty hearing is heard. As a result of that, the idea was to make their lives as miserable as possible so that they give up and go home. In the past, you would apply for asylum, be admitted to the United States, and then go to your hearing in a month or two. Now you're living in Tent City in squalor in Mexico. Biden said he was going to end that program on day one. He did, except according to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, didn't follow the right rules to do it. He is now appealing that because he is still required to keep the migrant protection protocols in place. So he's now appealing this to the Supreme Court. In the appeal argument, I'll read a little bit of it. It says the district court's extraordinary injunction compelling the executive, who is the president, to negotiate with a foreign sovereign, which is Mexico, and implement a nationwide discretionary immigration program has been in place since August and will remain in place until the Supreme Court intervenes. The Court of Appeals' unprecedented construction of Section 1225 threatens further significant disruption in other cases where parties seek to upend the government policies regarding immigration detention. Delaying review until the next term would likely postpone resolution of these critical issues until sometime in 2023. In the meantime, the government would be forced to continue negotiating with Mexico to maintain a controversial program that is already twice determined is no longer in the best interests of the United States. Our constitutional system is not supposed to work that way. That was the cover of their writ to the Supreme Court of the United States. Now, the Supreme Court needs a majority of the judges to accept the case, and they're trying to request it on an expedited basis. Unfortunately, there's 6 Republicans on the Supreme Court. So I'd be surprised if they accept it, but who knows? We'll see. If not, looks like migrant protocols will be in place, if you believe what they wrote there, at least through 2023. And in New York, I think this is a nice thing.
What's that?
They want to make unemployment benefits available to undocumented immigrants.
Oh.
So I think that's a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
Because, when an undocumented immigrant, loses a job, they can't get any unemployment insurance.
Right.
So some advocates are trying to get the New York State Senate to pass this. The problem why people are not in favor of it is because New York, if you remember, also is one of the few states that issues driver's licenses to people.
Right.
And there's lots of people coming from all over the United States claiming residence in New York to get a driver's license. And if they're claiming residence in New York to get a driver's license, and they're undocumented and they're living in another state, that means they could potentially be qualified to collect unemployment insurance.
But that would be illegal, though?
Of course it would be illegal. As a matter of fact, just recently, the Times Union of Albany reported that the State Inspector General's office was investigating a widespread scheme to cheat on the state's online tests for driver's permits. The apparent scheme helped allow undocumented immigrants to obtain driving credentials. The credentials meaning proof that you were residing in the state of New York. So you have to prove you're living in New York to get the driver's license.
Good.
But a lot of people are just falsifying documentation because they're desperate to get a driver's license. Word to the wise, if you get caught, it's going to be a serious crime in New York, you would get deported. So word to the wise on that.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
And they're aware. Inspector General's office, they already caught a whole bunch of people already.
Wow.
So the concern now is that if you're going to give unemployment insurance to undocumented immigrants in New York, it may be New York state taxpayers may be paying unemployment insurance to undocumented people all over the United States because they all, came and claimed New York residents when they weren't.
That's not okay.
Not okay. So you see, you try to do nice things and
people take advantage.
Yeah. In Atlanta yesterday, during a major speech on voting rights, President Biden expressed his frustration at Republicans trying to block the voting rights bills. It's a very important thing because a lot of the Republican states are passing a lot of legislation to make it very difficult to vote. And who does it make it difficult to vote for? People who are in the lower to middle class in the United States, people who are minorities, people who are newly minted U.S. citizens. There are a lot of roadblocks, especially in the Republican states. Why is that? Because Republicans want middle class and upper middle class white people to vote for them.
Right.
So in Atlanta yesterday, during a major speech on voting rights, President Biden expressed his frustration at Republicans who are blocking the voting rights bill. They're blocking it for a good reason. If you're a Republican, they want to stay in power. Because a majority, if it was one vote per one man or one woman in the United States of America, there's a lot more people who vote Democrat than Republican. Every presidential election, who gets the most votes? The Democrats, but they always lose, or they lose many of the times because of the Electoral College and the way that the districts are apportioned. So there's 3 different voting rights acts, and now a lot of people are saying that there's no way that it would pass the Senate unless they eliminate the filibuster. The filibuster, if you remember, is you need 60 votes to pass a bill. And they want to reduce that to 50 votes, which would be the 50 Democrats plus Kamala Harris. A lot of the provisions in the Voting Act sounds good to me.
Yeah.
What do you think? Let me go through this with you a second. Okay. They want to bring back and restore and update all the protections of the landmark Voting Rights Act of 1965. That's a John Lewis Act. Responds to current conditions in voting today by restoring the full protections of the original bipartisan Voting Rights Act of 1965. It follows the Shelby County decision 8 years ago where several states passed sweeping voter suppression laws that disproportionately prevented minorities, elderly, and the youth from voting. So they want to put back those protections to allow those groups of people to vote. They want to expand voting opportunities for people. They want to make voting early. So all 50 states should be able to open up voting a few days at least before the election. So not everybody votes on that one day.
Right.
They want to be able to increase mail-in voting for people who can't stand on lines or people who are concerned about COVID. They want to make Election Day a holiday because a lot of people want to go vote, but if you're living paycheck to paycheck and your boss says you don't show up to work, you're not getting paid, guess what? You're not going to vote.
That's very true.
Who is that affecting? It's not affecting a rich person.
No.
Right? They want to give protections for individuals with disabilities. The bill would require each state to ensure that individuals with disabilities have the same access to an absentee ballot. They want to have a national standard for voter validation, meaning that it's the same validation whether you're in California, Oregon, Texas, Arkansas, New York, Florida. You have to show the same exact documents to prove that you are eligible to vote. Right now, it's different documents in all 50 states. They want to crack down on deceptive and intimidating practices. The bill would prohibit the dissemination of false and misleading information designed to deter people from voting. They want to counter long lines, make it a law that every state has to take somebody's vote within 30 minutes. Sometimes people are in lines for 3-4 hours, right? And you get tired. And by the way, those Republican states, they make those lines very, very long in the minority communities. They do not open up.
Of course.
They do not open up a lot of polling places in the minority communities. And then in the wealthy communities, they have a lot of places to vote. Very easy to walk in and walk out. It goes on and on and on and on and on. We'll see what happens. There's about 27 different changes. I won't go through them all.
I mean, they're good changes, though.
Yeah, sounds all good to me.
Yeah.
And by the way, the Earth is the hottest on record. There's no signs of it slowing down. It's hot, hot, hot,
Oh, well.
as the song goes. Feeling hot, hot, hot on Earth. You know that song, right?
Yes, of
hot,
course.
Hot, hot. The past 7 years on Earth was hot, hot, hot.
Yes, it was.
Specifically, 2021 was the planet's 5th warmest year on record. And despite the global COVID-19 pandemic, worldwide concentrations of greenhouse gases, such as carbon dioxide and methane, continue to increase. Horrific disasters such as floods in Germany, Netherlands, Belgium, killed more than 200 people last year, all because of climate change. Now, we have talked about climate change forever, right? Remember when President Trump said, what climate change? It's snowing in Washington. Idiot. Okay. And by the way, and this is, climate change has a lot, and we talk about it all the time. Climate change has a direct connection to migration and immigration patterns. Okay? People can't live in certain areas anymore because of droughts, heat, cold, not able to farm the lands, not able to live off the lands from where they are, or perhaps their land is underwater now. Climate change is the biggest factor in people migrating because it changes the economy of those areas where people are migrating from. And coronavirus, Yonathan.
You're not doing statistics anymore.
I'm not doing statistics anymore because I know they're wrong by at least 2 people. Okay? My daughter and son did an at-home test. They were positive and they're negative.
Right.
They're not counted in this. I'm sure lots of people. By the way, you know what I was thinking with coronavirus, if you want. First of all, Dr. Fauci came out and said today, almost everyone's going to get Omicron. It's almost inevitable that every person in the United States will get Omicron at one point in time. Now, how bad it will be for you particularly will depend on whether you're vaccinated and whether you're boosted. But I was thinking with this Omicron, evolution, right?
Yes.
And there are people in this world who don't believe in evolution. They believe, they don't believe in Darwinism. They don't believe survival of the fittest. We have seen evolution with coronavirus in the last 2 years. In our lifetime, we don't see evolution. You see evolution over hundreds of millions of years.
Right.
So I actually find it pretty interesting that with coronavirus in our lifetime, we're actually able to see it. So what are we seeing? We're seeing a virus that was getting knocked out because we were quarantining, and then it changed, and survival of the fittest went to Delta, okay, and then we started getting vaccinated, and we started knocking it out again, and what happened? It went to Omicron, which was even stronger. So it went to the fitter and fittest, survival of the fittest. We are seeing evolution right before our very eyes, the actual scientific evolution.
Yeah.
An organism changing to survive. How do viruses survive? It survives by going from one person to the other and infecting them. So it is it's evolution. You're looking at it. It's like the Taliban, that virus.
Yeah, man.
They're like the Taliban in Afghanistan. Every time you quarantine, it's like the Taliban was like in the mountains for like 20 years in Afghanistan, waiting out the Americans to leave.
Yeah.
And then they took over.
Yeah.
And they're like, we'll wait out. We got nothing to do. Right? What do they got to do in the mountains up there? They hang out in the mountains with their guns and in their caves or
And
whatever
that's
they're
what
doing.
coronavirus is doing.
And that's what coronavirus does. Every time we quarantine, we think we knocked it out.
Yeah.
And the coronavirus is like the Taliban in the mountains, just waiting us out.
It's like, I'm still here.
Yeah, right. And as soon as we come out of our houses, boom, it's back.
That's it.
And it's evolved into something stronger.
It's wild.
Wild, right? I've heard Dr. Fauci say it won't be eradicated or eliminated, but can be brought under control. I don't think anybody knows.
Yeah.
Because it keeps evolving.
Yeah.
Yes, it will go under control if it doesn't evolve again.
But it keeps on evolving.
It keeps evolving. You know what's scary? I don't want to scare anybody, but I think about this. You know, this Omicron, which is infecting everybody. How lucky is the world that this was not the Delta?
Right, that was affecting everybody.
That was infecting everybody.
Yeah.
Because if this was the Delta that was affecting everybody, there would be massive, it would be like the bubonic plague.
Yeah. That's scary.
I mean, think about it. It would be like the bubonic plague in the Middle Ages when, 1 out of 3 people died in London.
Yeah.
I think in over 2 years. Thank God this Omicron is not as
severe. Yeah.
Because if this was a strong strain
yeah.
that got into your lungs, it'd be killing everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think the world got very lucky.
Yeah.
Very, very lucky.
I agree. Count your blessings.
Count
y'all.
your blessings. It's true. All right, you ready for some hump day? We got some camels?
It's hump day. It's hump day. It's hump day.
All right. So you watched CNN on New Year's. What'd you watch? What did you watch? Miley Cyrus.
I watched Miley Cyrus
and
Pete Davidson. But then I also watched the other one. It wasn't CNN. It was
Dick Clark's Rockin'.
Yeah,
He's dead. Who hosted it?
Ryan Seacrest.
Oh, right. He's not Dick Clark.
And I can't stand him as well.
Why don't
so
you like Ryan Seacrest?
Well, not can't stand him. It's just that show. It's just very boring now.
It's very vanilla.
Yeah.
It's extraordinarily vanilla.
It's just boring.
Boring.
It's boring.
Well,
Especially
isn't vanilla boring?
No.
Does it? Why does Pete Davidson look like Beetlejuice?
That's what I asked too. I was like, why is it?
Why does this guy look like Beetlejuice? And he like Beetlejuice was one of the ugliest people ever in the movies.
But Beetlejuice also had his girl.
Beetlejuice gets the win. Doesn't he look like Beetlejuice there?
I'm telling you, it's the personality.
Damn, I gotta get his personality. Well, if you were watching CNN, which you didn't.
Oh, I did see Andy Cohen's little.
His thing against the mayor.
Yeah. Whew,
What did he
his
say?
rant.
What did he say with the mayor? I forgot.
He was like, he's happy that he's
had his
out.
gal,
Yeah.
right. He's like, don't let the door hit you in the
Yeah,
ass
yeah,
or the house or whatever he said, something like that. But now, also CNN on its broadcast was showing tweets at the bottom of its broadcast, just like we're showing their telephone number scrolling on the bottom.
They
CNN was showing tweets.
And raunchy tweets.
They didn't realize people were giving fake names like Ben Dover, Ben Dover.
And then Dover.
Right, and Ben Dover. Ben Dover is saying, Happy New Year, and then there was another one, Dixie Normus. Dix Normus.
That's hilarious.
And CNN is running and it had no idea.
Wow.
How funny is that? Oh my God. And the pranksters boasted on social media about duping the network while other viewers spotted the wonky names and tweeted about them. The Daily Beast, which was the first to report the prank, noted that the number on the Twitter accounts appeared to be linked and touting the hashtag CNNYE in a bid to boost the prank's profile. That's very funny. Bend over and Dixie Normus.
That's hilarious.
How funny is that?
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Very infantile, but it still makes you laugh.
I'm surprised we don't have anybody with names like that.
Not yet, but I'm sure now people will.
This might give them some ideas.
Yeah, and Miley Cyrus, she had a wardrobe malfunction. Did you see that?
Let me see what happened. I saw the whole thing.
Yeah,
most of
her
it.
top fell down, and she had to turn her back.
And she turned around.
She turned her back because her top fell off.
Yes.
So she turned her back to the camera went off stage
And had that.
missed about 30 seconds of her song where nobody was singing. It was just the instrumental in the middle of her song, and then she came back in a red dress.
Blazer.
Yeah. So she said when she came back, she said, everybody's definitely looking at me now. Still in the most clothes I've ever worn on stage. It's probably true.
This is true.
Which is probably true. And this is disgusting, Yonathan. I don't know. Do we even want to discuss this next one?
I don't know what it is.
All right. Jill says absolutely.
Okay. What?
Reality TV star Stephanie Matteau from 90 Day Fiancé. We really want to discuss this? All right. She blew away people on social media when she announced that she's making more than $50,000 a week selling bottles of her farts.
That is wild.
That is really, really gross. The Connecticut resident has gained international recognition after appearing on the reality show 90 Day Fiancé. I don't know who she is. I don't watch the show.
I don't either.
But my son loves it.
Really?
Oh, Zach watches every episode. He's like, this is the best show ever.
What?
And it's one of the highest shows out there. And he goes, you want to watch? And I'm like, Zach, I live immigration every day of my life.
Right.
The last thing I want to do on my few hours at home is watch more immigration.
That makes sense now that you say that.
Yeah.
Because I know somebody who was on there and it's like super famous, an Ethiopian guy.
Yeah.
Super famous.
So maybe Yonathan, you want to
Absolutely not.
You want to get engaged
Nope.
to one of our squatties and go on 90 Day Fiancé. Okay, I was just throwing it out
Like I
there.
said, not feeling crazy.
I was just throwing it out there. So anyway, she made waves with her farting business by capturing her emissions in a jar. What a classy woman this is.
Class act.
This is somebody I would want to marry. What a classy woman. 1 second. Wait, capturing her emissions in jars and selling them because she thought it would be a hilarious publicity move. Now, but Jam Press is reporting that after she made $200,000 in sales, the influencer had to retire from the farting business.
Why?
Because she was rushed to the hospital with chest pains.
Are you serious?
Yes, she thought she was having a heart attack because she was eating all this food that caused gas. So she must have had so much distension in her stomach and in her. Why is this even a hump day? This is just gross day. But I guess the camels wanted to talk about it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh my God. Meanwhile, one was forced. I can't even talk about it anymore. So gross. Is there anything else that I need to say about this? She gave 50 jars a day.
What? So, like, it actually stays in there, too? Like, the smell stays in the jar?
I guess people get excited
and then
about
open it?
Yeah. You know, it's hard to... I would think it was hard to scale that one up, you know? Unless she's going to start getting employees. But then that would be fake jars of her flatulence.
Right.
Right. So it's hard to scale that business. She had to eat a lot. She had to eat a lot of beans.
So she did. I mean,
she had
at
to
least
eat a lot of beans.
At least we know that it was all her.
Yes. Now the newly retired peddler of gas said she plans to donate a portion of her income to charity that supports gastric disorders. I think it's opened up a new door for me. I'm working on digital fart jar artwork at the moment. I think everything happens for a reason. All right, come on. I can't even finish this.
We did finish it.
That's just gross. All right. We mentioned this in the top, so we should talk about it. A woman was forced to isolate with a man she just met on Tinder after the pair both tested positive for COVID when they were together.
That's insane.
Taking to TikTok, Sarah Poppymore 777 said she had just met a match from online dating when the pair found out they were infected. So they isolated his place after a blind date on Tinder.
That's crazy.
Despite barely knowing each other, they faced 7 days seeing no one but each other. So Sarah documented her time with the man and shared it with her fans. Soon viewers were branding it an Omicron rom-com as the pair watched Geordie Shore, which is a British reality show based on the Jersey Shore, ordered food, played Mario Kart, and lived in the domestic bliss for days. In a series of videos, she shows a snapper of a positive COVID test, clips of empty beer crates, and takeaway eggs. But someone asked Sarah why she felt obligated to stay with her date despite her positive test. Sarah explained, due to personal reasons, isolating by myself wasn't possible.
We know what those personal reasons are.
Yeah, I think she wanted to...
Bone.
Yes.
And look at the, they're doing fireball shots together and stuff.
She liked the guy.
Yeah, and he liked her.
Right, and they're like, you know what? Why should we both have COVID,
That's
so
a
we
movie.
might as well go have
That's
fun.
legit a rom-com.
That is a rom-com, right? That's something
that's
you...
like
that's,
a Netflix
by the way,
rom-com right there.
That's something you would end up in.
That is.
Right, I could see you going out on a blind date with somebody, getting COVID, and
just saying, F it.
Yeah, I could totally see that happening.
Funny thing is, this actually happened to my friend, but they were just now starting to date. So the dude came over to visit for a weekend,
right?
And they ended up getting COVID and spent the whole
I will tell you
7 days together.
You want to hear a story? My ex-wife, I'm divorced now. We met in the Bahamas. Did you know this story?
No, I didn't know you met.
Yeah, I met my ex-wife in the Bahamas, and we were both on vacation there. We were just happened to be on vacation together, and I met her. And we, hung out a few days in the Bahamas, not every day. And we just happened by chance that we had bought the same plane tickets.
Wow.
Going back home. So when I saw her in the airport, I said, well, we'll sit next to each other. And we sat next to each other. And I said, you know what? I'm going to pick you up for dinner tonight. I said, when you get home, give me your telephone number. We're going to go out for dinner. And I picked her up, and we went home, and then obviously came back to my apartment. And, one thing led to another. And the point being, I was 24 years old at the time. The point being this. There was a huge snowstorm. I just remembered this just now.
Oh, wow.
It was 1993, a huge snowstorm right after the New Year. And New York was closed for 2 days.
Right.
So she couldn't even get back to her apartment on the Upper West Side. She lived on the Upper West Side. I was on the Upper East Side. So she was stuck in my apartment for 2 days because of a snowstorm.
Wow.
And that's how we started our relationship.
Really?
Obviously, the marriage didn't work out, unfortunately, but it was a 17-year marriage.
Hey, 17-year marriage right there. That's a rom-com, too.
That was a rom-com. I just thought about that.
You lived an actual rom-com.
I may have. Meanwhile, here's some good news for me. Some bad news for you.
What happened?
According, Tom Holland has co-signed on to a scientific conclusion that has a clear impact on his life. Who's Tom Holland?
He is the new Spider-Man.
The new Spider-Man. He is 5'8", and he's been dating Zendaya, who measures 5'10". And he says that there is a study out there that says short men have more sex.
Yeah, I'm gonna believe him.
Yeah. The LAD Bible recently posted a picture of Danny DeVito and the much larger Arnold Schwarzenegger with the caption, according to the Journal of Sexual Medicine, shorter men are more sexually active than taller men. There were 531 heterosexual men in the study and found males under 5'9" have more sex than their taller counterparts. I am 5'8".
And I'm 6'1".
There you go. Sorry about that.
Hey, it's all good.
Tom and Zendaya.
Zendaya.
Why I keep calling her Zendaya? Tomato. Tom and Zendaya have joked about their 2-inch height disparity in an interview with Sirius XM. While promoting Spider-Man No Way Home, the two addressed the height disparity, with Holland calling it a stupid assumption that height differences like theirs create problems. For Zendaya, it's normal, she said. My mom is taller than my dad. My mom's taller than everybody. So there you have it. What do you think of shorter men dating taller women? You have a problem with that? Some women do.
Why would I have a problem?
I don't know. Sometimes you're looking like, oh, they look like a weird couple. No?
That's on them. If a girl is taller than me, it'd kind of be like, damn, because I'm already tall.
Marge Higgs says a shorter man tears up more sheets too, trying to get his grip. So I heard. Marge is.
We need her next to us.
We need her on Hump Day.
Marge Higgs. We're gonna start bringing you in for for Hump Day.
Oh. Jill just whispered in my ear, everyone's the same height when they're vertical.
There you go. When they're laying down.
There it is. All right.
That's funny.
That is our Hump Day. Well, at least I'm happy that at least short guys get
There
something.
you go. We
Get something.
ended Hump Day with some good news for you.
The good news from Uncle Brad. All right. In this edition of Tic Tac Time, I answer questions about filing for siblings, W-2 forms, and criminal charges. There's no way to expedite an F4 I-130 visa petition for your brother or sister because you're on a visa waiting list. You can't jump the waiting list right now. They're processing March 2007 cases. So if you filed after March 2007, unfortunately, you got to wait. You need 5 years good moral character to become a U.S. citizen by naturalization. Part of good moral character is filing and paying your taxes. So bring your W-2 and your 1040 for the last 5 years. Good luck. Having legal custody of your sister has no bearing on whether she can file for you or not. She can file for you because she's your sister. Except it's going to take a very long time, maybe 10, 12, 14 years. Perhaps there's better options for you. It's not what you're charged with, it's what you're found guilty of. Soliciting a prostitute is usually a petty offense, so I don't think that you would get deported. But again, you got to speak to your criminal defense attorney. Never take a plea until you know the immigration consequences. Again, it's not what you're charged with, it's what you're found guilty of. So before you plead guilty to anything, make sure you speak to an immigration lawyer. All right, our lines are locked and loaded. People waiting over an hour, several people, to speak with me in our meat and potatoes. It's something we like to call me with your immigration question. I've got your answer. All right, Alam in Charlotte, North Carolina. How are you?
Hey, Brad, how are you doing?
Alam, can you do me a favor? Because you waited a long time. I want to be able to help you. Don't speak on speakerphone. Talk into your phone, please.
Okay. Is it better now?
Yes, much better.
Okay. Hi, I filed for VAWA on December 12, 2018. So I did concurrent filing, I-360 and I-485. And my I-360 has been approved on November 12, 2020, but I haven't heard anything on my I-485.
When was the I-360 approved?
November 2020.
November 2020. So it's been about 13 months. You should be getting an interview very shortly. You're in Charlotte, North Carolina. When you're when you file a concurrent adjustment application with an I-360, they don't even look at your I-45 until the I-360 is approved. The only reason why you're filing that I-45 is so you can get your work permit and travel. Once your I-360 is approved, the I-45 goes to the back of the line of pending adjustment applications. Adjustment applications are taking about a year or so. You're at about 13, 14 months. I would be very surprised if the winter ends and you still haven't gotten an interview. My expectation would be that sometime in the next, anytime between tomorrow to the next 2 to 3 months, you should be hearing.
So I submitted the case inquiry online, and they said within 90 days I'm expecting an update.
That doesn't mean anything. That's just shuffling papers. You getting an update is not going to make it any go faster. But hopefully within the next 90 days you should get an interview. That would be my guess.
Okay. So what happened is, in the meantime, my work permit expired third time.
So renew
because
it.
I sent for renewal and I lost my job. I was working as a senior data scientist for United Healthcare, and I lost my job, and I sent for expedition request through congressman and through also my personal.
Did they give you an extension for the 180 days?
No, because what happened was I was in C31 when I started the job, and the C09 category work permit expired before.
Okay.
So when I sent for renewal,
you needed to do it under C9, and then they give you an extension for 180 days.
Yeah, but I sent for renewal after the C09 expired.
All right. Well, that's unfortunate. But when did you apply for the work permit?
October 6th. And they sent me the receipt letter on October 19th.
Okay, so your work permit you're not going to get till the springtime also, but you should be getting your green card soon. All right, I'm sorry you lost your job, but it's going to happen soon.
So I'm expecting the green card sooner than the work permit?
Probably.
Is that
Probably.
to say?
That would be my guess. I mean, I don't know for sure. I don't have a magic 8. Oh, I do have a magic 8 ball. But I mean, I could ask my magic 8 ball. Probably magic 8 ball usually has better guesses than me. Magic 8 ball. Do you think Mr. Alam in Charlotte, North Carolina, who unfortunately lost his job because he filed his work permit too late, waiting 14 months for his green card appointment, do you think it's going to come in the next 90 days? Do you agree with me? Magic 8 ball says. What does it say? Too many. I shook it so much. There's bubbles on it, yo. I can't even read it. What does it say? Yo. I think it's time for a new Magic 8 ball. We've asked it too many questions. It doesn't want to give me an answer. Yo, you tell me if you see an answer there. Mr. Alam, even the Magic 8 ball has no idea. We can't see an answer. Because I always honestly tell you whatever the Magic 8 ball says. But what does it say?
Possibly yes.
Possibly yes, Mr. Alam. That's what the Magic 8 ball says.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Good luck. All right. He was waiting patiently to hear what the Magic 8 ball was going to say. Magic 8 ball is generally right. Except what's wrong with it today? Come on, Magic 8 ball.
You shook it too much.
I shook it around too much. Jeez Louise. Abby in Houston, Texas.
Hi, my name is Abby. My question is about a vow. Actually, I'm making an inquiry for my sister, right? The vow was filed in June last year, but I understand that it takes a couple of times, between 18 to 24 months for the IE 360 to get approved.
It's actually closer to 3 years these days.
Hello?
It's actually closer to 3 years to get the I-360.
3 years, okay, yeah. So I was watching one of your videos that says, I guess she was supposed to apply for the work permit under the C9 instead of under the C31 category. But it has already been sent in.
Abby, first of all, did you file an adjustment application?
Yes.
Okay, so if you have a receipt for the adjustment application, file the work permit now under C9. Because you won't get the work permit under C31 till the I-360 is approved.
Yeah, that's my question. Even though it was already been done under C31, you can still...
second I-765 under section C9. There's no filing fee. Just send it in.
Okay, alrighty. Thank you very much. That's my question.
Okay, good luck. Let's go to Monique in Orlando.
Hi, Brad.
How are you?
My name is Tiff. Good, thank you. I wanted to find out, I currently have 2 pending IR2s that are at the National Visa Center now that are pending or that are documentarily qualified. And we received that February of 2020. Mm-hmm. And I know it is taking a lot longer with the backlog, but I wanted to find out, one of my beneficiaries will be turning 21.
You're a U.S. citizen because it's an immediate relative. So under the Child Citizenship Act, once you file an I-130 as a U.S. citizen for a child under 21, that age is locked on the day the I-130 is received. So as long as it was received before they were under 21, they are under 21 immediate relatives forever.
Okay. And I was trying to find out if there was any way that we could expedite.
You're not going to expedite it because they're under 21, so they're not going to age out. But what you can do is come up with a really sad humanitarian reason and request an expedite. The worst they'll say is no. Come up with your saddest.
Okay, and that doesn't...
It doesn't hurt your case at all. Come up with your saddest, play the violins, whatever the violin is, your sad story, your humanitarian story. This is why I need these children here. This is why the children need to be here. Lay it out and keep your fingers crossed.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Let's go to Adama in the Bronx.
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Good. I applied for asylum back in 2015, and I went to the interview. I was in removal. And later on, I got married and filed the I-130. It was approved, and I went to see the judge, and he granted me the green card. But
Great.
my question is,
Great.
yeah, my question is, I want to go back. I want to go to travel outside of the United States. But the day of the day we went to see the judge, we asked the judge to drop the asylum case, but I didn't get the notice yet, and I'm scared to travel outside of the United States. Maybe if I'm coming back, if I can get a travel, that's why I'm calling to see.
Well, my concern for anybody who applies for asylum and ultimately gets their green card, whether they applied, whether they got their green card through asylum or they got their green card through some other means, you got it through a different way than asylum. But my concern for everybody who applies for asylum with a green card, who then says they want to return home to visit their home country, will always run a level of risk returning to the United States because it is potentially a misrepresentation, not always, but it is a potentially a misrepresentation in the sense that you made an application to say to the government, my life is in danger if I go back home because I am in this class of people that they're persecuting. And then all of a sudden you get your green card and now you want to go back home. So that application, the government's going to say was bogus. Unless you can say, unless you're going to say or have evidence that, well, my life was in danger back then, but it's not now because something changed. But you don't want to go through that whole process. So my advice to people, I'm not saying it's going to happen to you, but it does happen to people. My advice to anybody who applied for asylum, who gets a green card and thinking about going home, think twice. Be smart, because you're opening yourself up. You're opening yourself up for the government to say you're a liar.
Yeah, no, I'm not traveling. I don't want to travel back home, but I want to travel outside of the United States.
Then you can travel.
My question is,
then the answer, then forget everything I said. You can travel wherever you want. You have your green card.
Okay, but I didn't get that.
When you were before the judge terminated your asylum, gave you a green card through your spouse.
Yes.
You have a green card.
Yes.
You don't have to worry about anything else. Case done.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I really appreciate
my
you.
Apologies.
Thank you.
I thought you were calling about going back to your home country.
Oh, no. It's not my home country. I want to travel to go to Paris with my wife.
Enjoy Paris. It's a beautiful city.
Okay, thank you.
You won't have any problem coming back.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you.
All right, let's go to David in the Bronx.
Hey, Brad.
Hi, David. How are you?
Hey, how you doing? I'm good. So, I had an interview for my citizenship on January 4th. So I went in, and the officer had a few problems. I did the test. I passed the test, but I applied for New York, address in the Bronx. I had a Connecticut driver's license. She had a problem with that, and she asked me for my 1040 for 2020. I didn't know I was supposed to bring that because it didn't fit it on the form. So after I passed the test, everything went good. She said to me that I passed the test. I signed everything on the tablet, and then she said, they need more information. And I would receive a notice in the mail regarding what information they need. That was on the 4th. On the 7th, I woke up to a text message saying that something about my case. So I logged in online, I looked at it, and it says, on January 7, 2022, we canceled the request for additional evidence for your N-400 application for naturalization, your receipt number, and we will send you a notice if we need additional evidence. So I'm not sure.
Well, let me tell you what the problem is. Okay? There's 3 rules for citizenship, and they're potentially investigating the 3rd rule. Okay? 3 basic rules for citizenship. Rule number 1, be in the United States 30 out of 60 months. I'm sure you were. Rule number 2, no trip more than 6 months. I'm sure you were. Rule number 3 is live in the state where you're filing for at least 90 days before you file your application and continuously through your interview. So the problem that they're investigating, which I would assume, based on what you told me, is that you showed a Connecticut driver's license and applied for citizenship in New York. So now they're questioning whether or not you complied with the last rule, which is file in the state where you're living. That's what they're investigating. What they're going to come up with, what the real facts are, what they're going to send you, I don't know. So you got to wait and see.
So the fact that they send me this notice saying that they cancel
that doesn't mean anything. They may send a new notice tomorrow. Maybe they're just going to send an investigator out to see where you're living. I don't know.
Gotcha. So I just got to wait.
Got to wait.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's go to Val in Chicago.
Hi, Brad. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Okay, so I'm calling on behalf of my dad. He came here in '94, applied for asylum. 3 years later, he was denied, and then he ordered a FOIA. So now my dad was granted a U visa. He has U2 status specifically. My question for you is, my brother, he's a natural-born U.S. citizen. He's 22 years old. Would he be able to apply for my dad?
How did your dad come to the U.S.?
He crossed the border.
Okay, so if he did not apply for asylum at the border.
He did, but he was rejected 3 years later.
Was he paroled into the United States, or he entered without inspection?
Without inspection.
Okay. Is your brother in the military?
No, he's not.
No, he cannot file for your father because your father is not eligible to adjust his status here, and if he were to go home, he wouldn't come back. So he needs a consultation.
Okay,
but
thank
your
you.
brother just can't randomly file for him. It's not going to happen. Hold on.
All right.
Let's go to Miss Maki in New York, New York. Hello?
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Good, and how are you, Brad?
Good. What can I do to help you?
Okay, I'm calling on behalf of my husband. He's in South Africa, and on the 5th of this month, which is January 2022, he had a interview date to go to the embassy to get his interview for his green card. But unfortunately, he couldn't make it. I don't know why, because I'm here in America and he's over there. And the reason why I'm saying I don't know why, because all his contact information and everything that I was able to contact him through is off. So I don't know if he's still alive or what's happening. I don't know. So, but my question to you is, will they be able to reschedule, or should I go to South Africa and go find out what's happening?
I would go to South Africa and find my husband, find out what's going on.
Right.
Okay. Will they be able to reschedule? If you find him and he wants to continue and you want to continue,
right?
Maybe he's injured, maybe he's hurt, maybe
right.
something happened. Maybe I don't want to be rude. Maybe he's just not interested anymore. So you got to figure out what's going on.
Right.
And you love this man. Go to South Africa, find out for yourself what's going on. See firsthand.
Right.
Me personally, I would go and see firsthand. Because if he surfaces in 3 weeks and gives you a whole story, you don't know if it's true or not. Just being frank.
Right.
So I would go to South Africa, find out what the heck's going on, and if it's a legitimate thing and, you guys love each other, they'll schedule another appointment. I mean, not years later, but, in a month or two, you can explain the situation.
Oh, okay.
All right?
No, I appreciate that. I mean, at the end of the day, I just think that maybe something is not right because...
if not, either he blocked your phone, is not interested, or something really happened. You got to find out.
Yeah, because even his children, they have no access to his numbers and stuff like everything is just off.
Right. It's possible he moved on. I don't know.
Right.
You in the bundle, your mind can come up with 100 reasons what happened. But in the bundle of possibilities, he moved on, decided he doesn't want to come, and just blocked you.
Right.
He lost his phone. But even if he lost his phone, I'm just being frank with you. Lost his phone.
Right.
Should have an opportunity to call you. Say, my wife. I should let her know I'm alive. So unless
Right.
he's in a coma in a hospital,
Right.
I'm concerned about this relationship with, what happened.
Right.
And I don't want to be rude and mean and hurt you, but I, got to be realistic here.
Right.
God forbid something happened to him. That, I hope, in one hand, I'm like, I hope I'm wrong and something happened to him because I would hate for a man to do that to you. And at the same token, I'm like, well, I don't want him to be hurt.
Yeah, because we've been married for 32 years and we have 4 children.
Wow.
Right.
Okay, so you have a lot at stake here. 32
Right.
years and 4 children. You should get on a plane and go find this man.
Okay, I'll do that. So, but you are telling me
and
that
if necessary, and you find him, knock some sense into him. 32 years and 4 children later.
Right. So, but then you are saying that there's a high possibility, or it's an assurance that they will reschedule for him.
In a few weeks, you could write the embassy and say, I missed my appointment. Can you reschedule it? They'll have the file there still, not months and months later, but within a few weeks, yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'm sorry
Brad.
that you're going
I
through
appreciate
this. I hope you find him and everything works out.
Okay, I'll get back to you. I'll let you know what went down.
Please let us
Okay.
know. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Let's go to Kevin in Houston. Kevin, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, good evening.
What can I do to help you today?
Yeah, I was calling to find out some information. Because I got married in 2018. Then 2019, they scheduled me for interview. My wife was sick. She did surgery. Then we write the immigration that she was sick. At the long run, they just deny the case, and we did a motion to reopen. Then after
This is an immigration judge denied your case, or USCIS?
USCIS.
Okay.
Yeah. Then we filed motion to reopen. After that, they sent us a receipt. But later on, the marriage was not working well. I have to move because we're not staying together. I leave her. Then I filed VAWA. But now I have a fiancée now, and she's pregnant to me. We're about getting married. I was asking if I want to file, how do I go about it?
Well, if you want to marry your fiancée, and she's a U.S. citizen.
Yes, and we are expecting a baby now.
Good, congratulations. As soon as you marry her, that's the end of the VAWA case. So what you would do is you would get married, withdraw the VAWA, and file a new adjustment through the marriage. You're allowed to fall in love with the first wife, fall out of love, and fall back in love with the second woman. You're allowed to do that. It's fine.
Okay. Should I need to withdraw my VAWA first before I file, or I need to file first?
No, withdraw the VAWA, get married, file a new adjustment. Or get married, withdraw the VAWA, and then file the new adjustment. But you can't have 2 adjustments pending at the same time.
Because the first one, I only just did it. I didn't apply for adjustment.
Oh, you didn't? Okay,
so
fine.
It was just the 360.
Got it. Okay. And your wife never, and you had, that's right, and you had the denial of the adjustment and a motion to reopen. So what you would do...
The motion to reopen was just, they sent me a letter that they update my name.
Okay. So all right. You have to withdraw the motion to reopen.
She was the one that did it.
You have to withdraw. It's your adjustment. It's your adjustment application, not your wife's. You have to withdraw your motion to reopen, withdraw the I-360, marry your fiancé, file a new adjustment. Final answer.
Okay, I need to withdraw the 2 before I file.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, good luck. Tommy in Charlotte, North Carolina. Tommy.
Yes, hello. Doing well. How are you doing today?
Good.
Thank you. So I have 4 questions. I'll be very specific.
4 specific questions. Yo, take this information down because it's very specific. 4 of them.
Yes, sir. So
all right, come back to me. It's fine. All right.
Yes, sir. So someone came here on a J1 visa.
Yes.
And was subject to the 2-year home return condition, but had waived it based on exceptional hardship.
Okay.
successfully.
Great.
And things didn't work out, and he submitted a VAWA application and got the prima facie determination letter.
Great.
However, he also has serious issues in his home country. There is a civil war ongoing which affects him directly because he will be haunted by the home country.
Got the hardship waiver.
Yeah, he already had the waiver for the 2-year home return country.
You got it. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. So now the problem is since VAWA is pending and he did not renew or extend his J1 extension since he had already waived, and the program sponsor's condition is that if you have applied for a waiver, you can no longer extend.
Just file an adjustment and submit a copy of the waiver approval.
Yes, he did that and submitted the I-485.
What is the question you have? We have 4, and we're still in question number 1.
Yes, sir. The question is, can he still go ahead and submit an asylum application?
Doesn't need to. Continue the VAWA. Next question.
Okay, next question is, what is now his status after the J1 visa expires in a few months?
Pending adjustment. Next question.
Is he able to look for an admission into a university with that pending adjustment?
If the university is willing to take him, yes, but he would not be going through the SEVIS system. He would have to pay full price, but some universities would accept it, some don't.
All right. And the last question is, when the first work authorization got expired, under the C09 category, he applied for a second one 6 months to the expiration of the first work authorization. And the receipt notice was sent, and on the receipt notice...
Tell me what your question is.
The first work authorization was issued based on the adjustment application.
What's the question?
The question is, why did they waive the fees for the second work authorization?
That's the rules. If you file an adjustment, the filing fee is included.
Yes, sir, but that was the second one, though. The first one there was no fees, but the second one was waived as well.
They still waive it. Congratulations.
Oh, okay.
Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. All right, thank you. Let's go to Martha in Denver, Colorado.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you, Brad?
Good. What can I do to help you?
Yeah, I came to U.S. in 2014 without inspection.
Yes.
I'm from Ethiopia. I asked asylum when I was in detention center, and I got paroled after 2 months, and I proceeded my asylum outside the detention for 3 years, and the immigration judge, he denied my asylum. And I appealed to BIA. After 2 years wait, the board denied my case again. And I appealed for federal court. After 2 days, I got their decision. They denied my case again. So now I'm on final removal proceeding. And how can I adjust my status? How can you help me?
You have gone through an entire complicated asylum case, and you've been denied. You went to the BIA, and you had a federal appeal denied. I don't know anything about your case. I don't know anything about you other than I know your asylum was denied through a federal appeal. You're asking me, how do I help you? You need a consultation. This is not a fill out a form.
Yeah, the
answer.
immigration judge.
Hold on. You need a consultation. You just need a consultation. Okay? This is not, oh yeah, fill out this form. You'll be fine. Let's go to Adam in Minneapolis.
Hi, how are you doing, Brad?
How are you?
I'm doing good. So I have a question, 2 quick questions. One is that I have I-55 time appointment on 20th next Thursday. So do I need to pay for anything, or it's free?
You have an I-55. You paid for the. What do you mean you have an I-551 appointment?
No, I-55 stamp, the temporary extension green card.
Okay, did you apply for an extension of the I-90 already?
No, so I had a conditional green card expired, and then they gave me, I applied, for the permanent one.
Uh-huh.
They give me the 18 months.
Oh, I see it. So
gonna
now you
be
want to
expired.
extend the ICE. No, you don't have to pay for that.
Oh, that's free?
Free.
Okay, thank you. Another question I have is my cousin, he applied his citizenship on 2020 May, and they waived his fingerprints on February of 2021. Since then, we didn't hear anything from them. So, do you think there's something going on, or just
No, just
they're
delay.
taking their
Just wait.
time?
Just wait.
Just wait.
Don't look into it. Just because it's delayed doesn't mean anything bad's happening.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
Let's go to Bobby in Milwaukee. Bobby. 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 Cindy. Marsha.
Brady Bunch.
Jane. There was no Jane.
Jan.
Jan. Alice.
Hello.
Bobby.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you?
Hello. Good, good. How are you, sir?
Good. What's going on?
I have question about my auntie, not for me, but she is U.S. citizen,
Uh-huh.
and she filed for her brother and sister in 2012, and they got the receipt notice, but they did not get the approval notice. And after that, they are moving the different state and did not change the address on UCSCI.
Was the case approved? Was the case approved?
What is it? No, it's not.
It's still pending?
They have only receipt notice, but they think, it is a actual approval notice, but they're not. Only it is receipt notice.
Who filed
when
for
they
who? Who filed for who?
What is it?
Who was the petitioner?
My auntie, and she filed for her brother and sister.
Okay, and this was in 2012?
Yes, sir, you're right.
Okay, so first thing you need to do is go online to USCIS, go to the tools section, go to case status online, and enter in the case number. Make sure the case is still pending. If it is, second step is do an AR-11 and change the address immediately.
No, sir. Listen me, please. They already closed the case because my auntie moving and they send some notice, but they don't receive it.
Okay. Too late.
Because they already moved, but they don't change the address.
Auntie was not smart. Screwed up our brothers and sisters. If you move, if you move addresses, and immigration sends you the notice to the address that they have on file, and you never changed your address with immigration, and they give you a certain amount of time to respond, and you don't respond, that's your fault. You never told them you moved addresses. They're not going to reopen the case.
Yes. So what is her option right now?
You got to start from scratch, and that's pretty sad. Got to start from scratch, and that's pretty sad because your brothers, your aunts and uncles just lost a decade of waiting. Because your aunt was either in a coma or just not caring, not thought about it, not thoughtful.
Oh, okay.
So it's the end.
So
there's nothing you can do.
She need to.
Got to start again.
She need to file again.
File again. Go to the back of the line.
And get some priority date or no?
No.
Because it is
back to the end of the line. I don't make the rules. I think it's unfair rules. I'm just telling you what it is. If you're a petitioner and you file for a family member and you move addresses, I mean, you could always make a motion to reopen, but they're going to deny it. When was this case denied?
Yeah, it's kindly like that, right?
Yeah, because they give you
so
a
right
reason.
Now she don't have anything to do.
The reason, there's only two reasons to reopen the case. One is three reasons to reopen the case. One is I notified you that I moved addresses and you mailed the notice to the old address. Number two, I responded to you. How did you not receive it? Here's the proof. Or number three, what you asked me for was irrelevant. You could have approved the case based on what I told you, what I gave you.
Oh, okay.
Those are the three options.
All right. So that. Oh, okay. And this option is not cover reason for her. So
there's no option
they lost
that
everything.
There's no option that I moved. I neglected to tell immigration. Please reopen the case anyway. There's no option for that.
All right. Thank
Sorry
you very
about
much, sir. Thank you.
Let's go to Nick in Hartford.
Hi, Brad. How are you?
Good. How are you, Nick?
Good. I don't have any question. I just wanted to say thank you.
Oh, okay.
I've been listening to your show. I applied for VAWA, which took almost like 4 years to get my green card, but finally I got my green card.
Congratulations.
So, thank you so much. The advice you gave are so valuable, especially with the renewal. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Congratulations to you. Thank you for watching.
Thank
you know, I really love when people call like that. I really appreciate it, really from the bottom of my heart.
You know, I get off from work at 8:30. I got my green card like 2 months ago.
Wow.
And I get off at 8:30, and I miss your show every time. I can't call it.
Right.
So today I took an hour off just to call you.
That is really.
And say thank you.
I really appreciate that because, you know, I'm talking into a camera right now. Yonathan is listening to me. I know that Jill and Ian in the booth are listening to me. I see people commenting, listening to me. But I don't know all the silent people out there like Nick who are taking in my information and using it to their advantage to help themselves. So I really appreciate it when somebody calls back and says, you helped me and I never knew. So thank you very much. And thank you for taking the time out.
Thank you.
And thank you for taking the time out to call me. But most importantly, congratulations to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, Nick. Thank you.
Take care.
All right, very nice. Norris in Chicago. Took off an hour to call. Very nice, Nick. Yeah. Norris, how are you?
I'm fine. You, Brad? How
What
are
can I
you?
do to help you?
Yes, I have a particular situation. My VAWA case was approved in 2018.
Right.
In July, to be precise. And I subsequently filed for adjustment of status in November of 2018. But up to then, I've not heard from USCIS. I've made several info passes,
Did your VAWA get approved? Your VAWA got approved when?
Yes, sir.
When?
In 2018.
You filed in 2018, but when was your VAWA approved?
I filed in 2017, and it was approved in 2018.
And you have a pending adjustment for 3 years?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Have you been renewing your work permit?
Yes, correct.
All right, so you need a mandamus now. You have approved VAWA for since 2018. We're now in 2022. That's 4 years ago. With a pending adjustment
Yes,
for
sir.
4 years, you need a mandamus.
Yes. Yes, I have a question. If I should do that, what are my chances?
Well,
for getting a green card. Yeah.
Your chances are excellent of getting a resolution to your case. So what a mandamus does is it forces the government to resolve your case. They can't when they're holding your case for 4 years without making a decision. That's as good as a denial, because not making a decision or denying you gives you the same result: no green card. So a no decision is the same as a denial, no green card. They're violating your rights by making no decision and not giving you a reason for it. That's the purpose of the mandamus. So when you do a mandamus, you bring the problem to a head. And the government has to give you a decision. And the decision is, here's your green card, or here are the reasons why you're being denied. And then you take it from there. If they have valid reasons for denying you, you resolve those reasons and deal with it. Sometimes the government has no valid reasons for denying you and makes up some BS. You deal with that. Or sometimes they say, oh, we just forgot about you. We didn't even realize your case was still pending. People get forgotten about all the time. They say, oh, let me get your file, and then they approve it. I don't know what's going to happen. I just know that a mandamus is going to complete the process for you.
Because I've been making several inquiries, and nothing has been done. And I don't know. I'm confused, and
so I just told you what you need to do. I've unconfused you. You file a mandamus. You get them to give you a decision, or threaten to file a mandamus. There's nothing to be unconfused about anymore. Or confused about, because I've unconfused you.
Okay. Can I do that from there? Can I do that with you guys?
You can do that from Chicago with me. Hold on one second. By the way, if you didn't get your immigration questions answered, you could always follow me on @RealBradBernstein. Drop me a DM. I will be happy and thrilled to answer your immigration questions. Just follow me on @RealBradBernstein. Drop me a DM. Try to help you as best as I can. You don't like 2 hours of me and Yo-Yo, but you like 2 minutes of us? Follow us at Brad Show Live on Instagram for the best 2 minutes of our show. And of course, our fastest growing social media platform, TikTok. Leave your question on TikTok. You may be lucky. Hundreds of people leaving questions every day, but I don't answer all of them. I can't. I never go to sleep, but I answer a lot of them, and you may get a video answer by me to you for the world to hear, but it will be personalized to you. Yo-Yo?
And you guys can follow me at Yonathan Elias TV on Instagram.
And later in the show, we're going to go on the streets.
Yeah.
Out on the streets with Yo-Yo to play a game of green inventions around the world. World. That you won't want to miss.
Yes. Sorry, that got me. And now, in spirit of love and hump day, we're going to hear Hector and America's immigration love story. I remember them.
I'm an immigrant. I was born in Mexico. We started dating, and she didn't know that I was not legal in this country. We were dating for some time. At one point, I became a resident alien, and she kind of was taken aback, saying, "You weren't born here?" I said, "No, I was born in Mexico." She said, "Okay, well, if I would have known that, we would not have been dating." So anyways, I joined the military. She told me, "Get your citizenship on your own. I won't help you with that because I don't want you to use me." And I did. I became a citizen on my own through the military, and we've been happily ever after.
All right, that was cute.
That was. I like that little immigration love story.
Yeah, we need more love stories.
Yeah. And I actually respect that. I respect that on both ends.
We need more immigration love stories. And less.
I like that type of hump day story.
That was a nice hump day story. Social media check-in. Let's see what we got.
All right, our first one comes from Naked Wire on Facebook.
You promised Naked Wire, right?
Yes. Naked Wire, I got you.
All right.
I had my fingerprints done 325 days ago for citizenship, and I still haven't heard anything yet. Can you help me?
Not yet, but at some point, if your case is pending more than 18 months and no interview, give us a call.
Showanats Milsey on Facebook. My father was a U.S. citizen when I was a child, but he didn't file for me. He died 8 years ago. I came for the funeral. Can I apply through him for adjustment of status?
If your father was a citizen when you were born and resided in the United States for 5 years prior to your birth, you're an automatic U.S. citizen, not adjusting your status. You're getting a U.S. passport. If your father became a citizen after you were born and you've never had any status here, that doesn't help you one bit. He's passed away, unfortunately.
Tina on YouTube. My hubby and I went for an adjustment of status interview with our kids. I think everything went well, but the officer removed I-94 from my passport at the end of the interview. Is that bad?
No, not at all.
Robin Shretha on YouTube. I applied for a U visa in October 2020. I was robbed 3 times and have police reports, but got robbed again in December 2020 for the 4th time. Man, my question is for a bona fide determination. Do I contact USCIS for a new robbery? The guy who robbed me is in jail.
No, you should have already filed your U visa with the law enforcement or law enforcement statement that says that you cooperated with them. Show you're injured. You can just request the bona fide determination now. They should be doing it.
Marge Higgs on Facebook.
By the way, I don't want to hang out with that guy. He keeps getting robbed.
Yeah, 4 times.
Or what are the odds that he would ever get robbed a 5th time? He could be the safest guy to hang out with.
What?
Yeah. I mean, you've been robbed 4 times already. I think that's about as many times as you would get robbed in a lifetime. He's done with getting robbed.
Are you sure? I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
You understand the logic behind it?
I don't know. I don't know this person, so I'm not
getting
going to speak on
robbed
it.
He was walking around with a lot of cash in his pocket.
All I know is if I'm getting robbed that many times, I'm not about to be around that area or wherever you're getting robbed at. Woo.
Yeah. As Marge Higgs said, he's a magnet for robbers.
Yeah. Maybe, like, you know who should hang around him?
Who?
Cops. There you go.
That's a good one. I like that.
That's who should hang around him. All right. Speaking of Marge Higgs on Facebook, what should one do after waiting 1 year and 9 months for an EAD? I reapplied almost 4 months ago and got a receipt. I reached out to the ombudsman. And he's still waiting.
Marge Higgs, call me.
All right. Once Tamad on YouTube. Do you think I'll be able to get my working renewal permit after 180 days? It's been 153 days now.
Work permit renewal within 180 days?
Mm-hmm. After, it says after.
What's his name?
Once. Tamad.
Once Tamad.
Mm-hmm.
Know nothing about his case.
Yeah.
Just know he applied for a work permit renewal.
Mm-hmm.
Wants to know if he's going to get it in the next 30 days. How many days does he have left before 180?
Well, it's been 150 days now.
All right, so 30 more days. Is he going to get his work permit? Magic 8 Ball. Will he do it?
Can you see it?
Yes. Magic 8 Ball has fixed itself.
Oh, okay.
Says better not tell you right now.
Oh, perfect.
Magic 8 Ball doesn't know either.
All right. Rosemary Chimney on YouTube. I-130 was approved on December 23rd. Priority date is 2017. How long will it take NVC to send me a welcome letter? Does my priority date have to be current for the F2B category from Jamaica?
Your priority date has to be current, and then you have to go for an immigrant visa interview or an adjustment of status, depending on where you're at.
Senior Designer Edition on YouTube. I was sponsored under F1 by a son over 21 in 2016. In 2017, I ended up in a serious car accident and I ended up in a wheelchair. Will that affect my filing?
It shouldn't.
Chapdom on YouTube. What's the longest or the shortest time you've ever seen from an interview notice to interview for an I-485?
Interview notice to an interview? 14 days.
Longest and shortest?
Longest?
Mandamus?
Ever. Forever. Indefinite.
Forever. Okay.
Yes.
And last one, Shoaib Chima on Facebook. I received an RFE for a medical exam to be delivered at the local office before the interview. It's an adoption case. What does that mean? Would the interview be waived?
The interview, what do they want?
Received an RFE for a medical exam to be delivered at the local office before the interview, and it's an adoption case.
It's possible it could be waived. It's very possible.
Okay.
All right. According to the World Bank, 143 million people will be displaced by climate change by 2050. We talked about earlier that this is the coldest, the hottest.
The hottest it's ever been.
Hot.
Yes, the world
feeling
is getting
hot.
Yes, not in a good way.
Now, while the climate crisis can feel insurmountable, hot, many people are coming up with creative solutions to the climate problem, which is why we sent Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias out on the streets of New York City, pre-face mask, to test New Yorkers on whether they know what country these amazing green inventions come from. Let's play along.
What's up, Rad Squad? This is Yonathan Elias out here in the cold streets of New York, and today we're going to be talking about climate change. So we talk about climate on the show all the time and the effect it has on migration. Many natural disasters are directly linked with climate change, including floods, hurricanes, heat waves, droughts, wildfires, and storms. These disasters have displaced people all over the world, from Nepal and China to Central America to Houston, Texas, and Southern California, proving once again how connected the human race is, no matter where they live or what their background. Okay, the good news is people are starting to finally pay attention. In 2018, 164 countries formally adopted the UN Global Compact for Migration, the first policy that includes a section on migration caused by climate change. Also, for the first time, climate change was one of the main focuses at the 2020 Davos World Economic Forum. People from all over the world are coming up with solutions to combat the effects. So today I'm out here on the streets of New York and we're gonna play Green Inventions from around the world. Let's test some people. Play along too. And what's your name and where you from?
My name is Rav and I live nearby, actually. Live in the city, yeah.
Okay. All right, how you doing today?
It's all good.
Yeah, all good in the hood. You ready to play Green Inventions from around the world?
Sure thing.
All right. How you think you're gonna do?
I don't know.
All right. What's your name and where you from?
Sam, I'm from Miami, actually.
Hey, Miami. Are you visiting or you live here now?
No, I'm just here for like 8 hours and I go back home.
Oh, snap. What's your name and where you from?
I'm Dutch. I'm from Brooklyn, Bay Ridge, Brooklyn.
Okay, BK, so are you ready to play Green Inventions from around the world?
I am.
Woohoo! All right, so now, it's estimated that by the year 2050, 80% of the world's population will be living in condensed urban areas. So what happens to agriculture when we run out of farmland? You have to create vertical farming.
Right.
Okay, so now, Belgian architect Vincent Calibet has designed a proposal for the Dragonfly, a giant vertical farm for which big city? Is it A, Tokyo, Japan, B, Jakarta, Indonesia, C, Delhi, India, or D, New York City, USA?
I think it must be in Japan.
All right, I got actually two guesses. One will be in Tokyo and New York because both of them are big places of financial anything.
So, but you have to pick one. So if you had to pick one from those two.
Tokyo, because America's crazy with the funding.
The funny thing is, I agree with you.
I actually know this one. It's in New York.
Wow. How'd you know that?
I'm a tour guide.
I don't know if this is a trick question because we're in New York, but
go with it.
All right. Yes, New York.
Yes, New York City. Calibet designed the Dragonfly. Dragonfly was originally conceived in 2009 but has not yet been built. Dragonfly would span 132 floors and 600 vertical meters. It would provide 28 different types of agriculture supplies, including fruit, vegetables, grains, meat, and dairy, would run off wind and solar power and be completely sustainable. This is how Dragonfly could be a major game changer for the environment. Farmland could be dedicated to growing more trees, reducing carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Wow, dragonflies. Second question. Arizona civil engineer Mo Estani thinks he has the answer to global coral bleaching crisis. It's a pipe that delivers cool water to stressed coral and wants to try it out in which country first? Is it A, Red Sea Coral Reef, Red Sea, or B, Great Barrier Reef, Australia, C, Florida Keys Coral Reef, United States, or D, Belize Barrier Reef in Belize?
Florida Keys, United States.
Great Barrier Reef.
Wow, good. You said that with confidence.
I know because I know that the Great Barrier Reef is currently dead.
Yeah.
So that's a priority.
Good
It's the
job.
biggest one on the planet.
There you go. You got that answer. Smart guy here. Shoot.
I will have to say the Great Barrier Reef in Australia.
There you go. That's absolutely right. Absolutely right. Sheesh. I like this guy.
All right, B. I'm pretty confident it's B.
Good job. You got it. You got that. The Great Barrier Reef. Scientists say Australia's national treasure has already suffered massive coral death and damage from bleaching. The Great Barrier Reef is the world's largest coral reef ecosystem. It's made up of more than 3,000 reefs and contributes more than $5 billion annually to Australia's economy. Coral bleaching occurs when ocean water is too warm. Yeah, we could definitely use this pipe. All right, number 3. We still got some chance. You got this. Which country opened the world's first floating wind farm? Is it A, Scotland, B, Portugal, C, South Korea, or D, Taiwan?
I think it's Portugal.
No, the one choice I had in my mind wasn't in there.
Wasn't there?
I'm going to say, oh man, let's say Taiwan because they're on an island.
It's either South Korea or Taiwan, but South Korea.
I think it's Scotland.
Are you looking at my answers?
No, I am not.
Good job. It is. In 2017, Scotland opened the world's first floating wind farm. The floating wind turbines, interconnected with cables and anchored to the ocean floor, generates enough energy to power 20,000 homes, or 40,000 tiny homes. There are at least 2 other similar projects at early stages of development in Scotland, with more on the way in Norway, Portugal, the US, and Japan. In fact, one team of scientists found that a wind farm the size of Greenland in the Atlantic Ocean could generate enough energy to power all of humanity, essentially eliminating the need for fossil fuels. It's pretty dope. Okay, bottles that illuminate was first invented and implemented in where? Philippines, Brazil, Ghana, or Honduras. So they're basically a light bulb that works without electricity.
Philippines.
I would say Philippines.
I think that might have been the Philippines? No.
Honduras.
Brazil. Alfredo Moser from southern Brazil invented a light bulb that works without electricity. Just a 2-liter plastic bottle filled with water and bleach gives out light for free. Moser invented the bulb in 2002 in response to the many blackouts in the city. It is now used in nearly 1 million homes around the world, mostly in cabins and homes in the suburbs of poor people. That is pretty awesome. We need that in Ethiopia. Shoot. When I went out there, the lights always went out. So, big ups to you, Brazil. If current trend continues, 12 billion metric tons of this waste will exist in the world by 2050. There's a scientific breakthrough by a team of researchers in Japan that came about by accident that could change this dire development. Now, in this happy accident, the scientists discovered mutant enzymes that could eat what? Is it A, styrofoam, B, plastic, C, carbon monoxide, or D, coral ash?
Plastic.
There you go.
Oh,
you got it.
right.
Got it.
One right.
You got it. That's what matters. That's what matters. All
Better
right.
than none.
Huh?
Yeah, I would say it's better than none.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I like the way you look at life.
Yeah. Plastic?
It is plastic.
Oh, wow. Because ocean's full of plastic.
There you go.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. We need it.
Yes, plastic.
Yes. It was before I could even give you the...
Yeah, I know.
This is great. This guy is awesome.
I don't know how you eat carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, plastic.
There you go. See? You got to just think about it and you'll get it.
Makes sense, makes sense.
A team of researchers in Japan developed an enzyme that can break down plastic in a matter of days, much faster than the hundreds of years that plastic usually takes to decompose. That is awesome. We need that. Go green. Now, trees are essential for storing greenhouse gas emissions, filtering air and water, nourishing soil, providing food and shelter, and fostering ecosystems, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, this is why engineers across the world are coming up with high-tech solutions, and they're planting trees with what? Is it A, organic fertilizer, B, drones, C, hydropower cranes, or D, enhanced biossoil?
Enhanced biossoil.
Enhanced biossoil.
I want to say enhanced biossoil, but could be wrong.
Organic fertilizer?
No, it's actually with drones.
Oh,
right?
So like the drones?
Yeah. Say it one more time.
Drones?
Yes. All right. A UK-based company called Biocarbon is using drones to spray tree seeds throughout ravaged forests and claim they can plant 1 billion trees per year. All right, Brad Squad, there you have it. I know you guys learned a lot, and I hope that it was as insightful as it was to me, to you. Guys, we could all do our part. Even the small gestures can help save this world. Recycle, reduce, reuse. Back to the studio.
All right, we are ready for our speed round.
Yeah.
We ready to do it? Maybe not. Ooh. Maybe yes.
We're ready.
Oh, there we go.
Jilly says she's going to count me down.
All right. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Can I apply for my 485 while waiting for a VAWA 360?
Yes.
Can someone with a pending asylum travel with a parole?
Yes.
What should I file for stepchild living in the U.S.?
An I-130, I-485, I-765, I-131, I-864.
My stepson is in the U.S. Army. Can he file for his father and me? We're in Jamaica.
Yes.
Does a child under F4 need to remain unmarried for the interview?
No.
Can my mom, green card holder, mom file for me? I live in the U.S.
Yes.
I have TPS from El Salvador. Can I apply for advanced parole to visit Canada for 3 weeks and come back?
Yes.
Can I apply for advanced parole if my asylum is pending and I'm waiting an interview?
Same question, yes.
Married for almost 4 months, receiving emotional abuse by my husband and stepchild. Can I file for VAWA?
Yes, you can. And by the way, U.S. citizen military can file, if they're a U.S. citizen, I assume they are. You just said U.S. military, I assume U.S. citizen. And there was another question. What was the first couple? There was a question I just wanted to clarify. I said yes, but there's a but.
I have TPS from El Salvador.
No, go back.
Can my green card holder mom file for me? I live in the U.S.
That was it, if you're single.
Okay.
All right.
Woo!
But we did it.
We did it.
Ah, you got balloons. No music, but balloons.
I'm dancing to the song in my head.
I thought you were just cold.
No, that's the bankhead bounce.
I thought you were just cold and shivering. Oh, there we go. And now, that's all right. We'll get it tomorrow.
Can't get it all. You can't get it all.
All right, you ready to go to the comments of the day?
Let's do it. Comments of the day.
All right, what do we got?
All right, our first comment of the day comes from Mavo Tom saying, good evening to all. God bless. I hope everyone had a successful day and are looking forward to a great evening. Blessings. One love.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
All right, second one comes from Elizabeth Francis saying, callers, a teacher teaches, a dentist takes care of your teeth. Uncle Brad is an immigration lawyer. So if you have any immigration issues, please contact none other than Uncle Brad Bernstein.
All right, yes.
Wow.
And if you need your teeth cleaned, go somewhere else.
Yeah,
I ain't doing it.
Don't call him.
Don't call
me either.
I'm not into cleaning teeth.
I'm not either.
No.
All right, and our last comment of the day comes from Robin Shritha saying, you guys are just awesome, as always.
Thank you very much. You know, it takes one to know one. I always say that.
I like that.
I always say that. All right, thank you very much. Happy Hump Day. See you tomorrow for Wacky World Thursday.
Yep.
Take care. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein Law Firm, located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465. What are you doing?